The new vision that is being projected by leaders like Mr. Narendra Modi, who says his definition of secularism is India first. When it comes to words like these and the usage of some of these words, do you think the Congress has failed miserably as far as coming up with its vision of its core principal issues is concerned?
You know, the Congress's vision, which was historically sort of acceptable, was exactly as Mr. Vishwanathan said and Mr. Pradhan hinted about secularism and all these things. But secularism is now being ridden by 100 other warriors across the electoral spectrum. So that's gone. Aam Aadmi has also gone, which was the Congress's other big whipping boy. Okay, so that's died. The fact is, what we now need to look for, and what today's young people and young voter are looking for, is, for example, how many young speakers get to speak in the hours that matter? Will they be conceded, given space after 6 o'clock in the evening? How many young leaders are there? How many women are going to speak? And what are the issues they're going to talk about? So, you know, it's not about trotting old war horses out. It's not about trotting the same flogged words out. It's about quick, you know, because this is an age of hysteria. And the fact is that today electoral politics is about, as Mr. Vishwanathan said, driving up the hysteria and keeping that excitement, at least to keep everyone awake. Will people watch this? And to make it watchable, you have to make sure you trot out lots of new faces, people with ideas who should be prepared to speak about what they want to speak.
But many of the Congress leaders actually feel that there is a flip side to it, this whipping up of hysteria, like we've seen in the case of Aam Aadmi Party. In fact, they've overtaken BJP in a way. If you see in the space of social media, there is also a downside side to it, because as they are doing things ever since they came from the government in Delhi, they're also being monitored very closely. Each and every move of theirs is now being analyzed by one and all. And in that sense, some are even questioning whether, you've seen what happened just yesterday, the two ministers who, took on the Delhi police head on. So the Congress actually, in a way, some of the leaders that we speak to very often say that this is a hysteria that comes up, and after some time there is that down that they have to face, which is something that they say will not happen if you stick to your traditional way of reaching out to the voters.
Measured, and just as secularism is dead as far as the Congress is concerned, as a platform on which to get conviction from people, so also is the age of measured. So all this measured stuff is wonderful in terms of semantics and arguing in studios, but the fact is that you have to have that little frisson of excitement, and that frisson needs to be brought back in. Would it be done by a person? I doubt it. Would it be done by great new ideas? A lot of them have already become captive of various others. The left, to even Jayalalitha seems to have some new ideas. She says, why not I be Prime Minister? So there are ideas all popping up all over. But what is the idea that will actually capture India? That's got to come from the party faithful. And that's got to come from people who are close to the ground and who are there every day and who have to man the booths. And those are the people, some of who are sitting, or at least have done that, are sitting in the ICC. So they need to be able to reflect that and say, this will work. And we'd like to see that. And if that comes through in this session or post the session, then they'll have a concept that could work.
All right, so nothing exciting or new to offer in Sonia Gandhi's speech. Let's see what Rahul Gandhi has to say. For more, it's over to Headlines Today's editor-at-large, Rahul Kanwal, who is at the Talkatora Stadium, where this session is currently on.
Ghulam Nabi Azad, senior leader of the Congress party, is speaking at this time, and he's telling Congress workers gathered at the Talkatora Stadium that just by raising slogans inside the stadium, inside this hall, is not enough. You have to actually go out and work. And what we are seeing is the old guard, Javed, tell the young for Rahul Gandhi, there's also generational clash.
Yes. Rahul Gandhi would have been appointed, I'm not so sure that would have been the wisest thing to do, because you need experience, you need, look what's happening to the Aam Aadmi Party.
Apologies for that. We are having some technical trouble there. We'll try and fix that and go back to Rahul in just a few moments. Let me go back to Mr. Sharad Pradhan, senior journalist, still with us. There's been a criticism, of course, from parties like the BJP, who have so far said that the Congress party and Rahul Gandhi in particular have lacked the gumption to take Narendra Modi head on. We've rarely heard Rahul Gandhi, in fact, just one time perhaps that we heard, mention Narendra Modi in any of his speeches. In fact, in a recent interview, he did make a mention of Aurangzeb, which many thought was a reference to Narendra Modi. But other than that, we've never seen Rahul Gandhi directly take on Narendra Modi. Will this, in a way, again reflect that the Congress party and Rahul Gandhi lack the gumption to take on a fierce and strong leader like Narendra Modi?
Well, I think that is the whole reason why Rahul Gandhi has not been anointed as a Prime Minister nominee. Because when it comes to comparing the two directly, then Rahul Gandhi seems nowhere. You know, the only arsenal that the Congress seems to have against Modi is the 2002 riots. Fair enough. But you need to go beyond that. Because people have started looking far, even people in Gujarat, even the Muslims in Gujarat have started looking beyond that. So which is where they have failed, and they do not have the guts, do not have the required arsenal to fight Modi. And that is where Aam Aadmi Party is probably going to assist them unwittingly, in the sense that now that Aam Aadmi Party has come into the scene and they are supporting it, they have something to, and which is what Aam Aadmi Party has already put brakes on Modi's march. So that's as far as the strategy is concerned, that's a good start. But as far as Rahul is concerned, no, he has failed miserably in taking on Modi. And even today, the trouble, I think, with the Congress party is it has failed to evolve beyond the family. Rising in a true democratic way. If the party had been allowed to grow people within the party, younger element should have been allowed to grow on the basis of their merit and talent, which has never happened. Only unless you have the Gandhi tag attached to your name, you can't be the leader of the party. And that is the tragedy of the party, and which is what it is facing today. But still they are not ready to rise beyond that. You see the kind of euphoria that has been witnessed at the party meeting just now. You know, there's a huge element which is only a pack of sycophants who just want to harp on Gandhi, Rahul, without attributing anything great to him. They just, because they feel that is what is going to give them personal benefits,
all right,
personal aggrandizement.
All right, I want to focus a little more on Rahul Gandhi's success rate now that he has been given leadership role once again to lead the Congress into 2014 elections.